Okay, and we are live. Happy Monday, everybody. This is Pete Erickson. I'm the founder of MoDev, and I'm the creator of Voice Summit. Voice Summit's happening July 22nd through the 25th in Newark, New Jersey at the New Jersey Institute of Technology. We're going to have more than 350 speakers joining us from around the world, 4 days of packed content. Really excited about this year's event. And this is part of our speaker interview series where we're talking with some of the speakers to get to know them before we all get to Newark. And today I'm talking with Laura Morinigo. Laura, how are you doing?
Hey, how are you? Good. Pretty happy to be here.
Yeah, so Laura, I understand you're a developer, and you, like many developers, you're now find yourself in this world of conversational design and development. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you got started developing for voice.
Yeah, well, basically, I've been working in tech around 10 years.
Okay.
And before that, I'm most of my career working most in web development, a little bit of mobile development. And about 3 years ago, I've started to be around this field related with sound and voice. I'm a Google developer expert, so I work a lot with Google products. And I've started to see what's going on with the Google Assistant. I was pretty excited. And then I discovered such a new field, even everything that is related with voice design, creating a persona, and the different ways that we can use voice. Actually, one of the first things that I tried with voice was try to use voice in the classroom. So after that event, I started to research more about voice technologies, and currently, right now, it's pretty popular. So
Right.
everybody is more into this new field, and is excited.
Well, I think it's interesting, and I think that uh, smart of you to recognize this shift and to get on the front foot. What would you tell other developers out there? Maybe they're Python, JavaScript, C, C sharp, you name it. Developers. What would you say to other developers out there about your experience about getting into voice first?
Yeah, first of all, give it a chance. I believe, like in the terms of the evolution of technology, there's a shift after mobile, right? We don't want to
Yeah.
use our hands anymore. We want to interact with the devices in a different way. And that's why there is a lot of huge opportunities in the voice market. And second, that happened in my case. I discovered such a new field in terms of design. I'm not a designer, uh, but with voice, there are other things that you need to apply in terms of designing a persona, or even things that are related with sound or how humans interact with others. So I found that really interesting, and it has so many different ways that you can apply that in technology. I believe that voice eventually is going to be a shift, and it's already here in the market. So right now we are already having a lot of tools that we can use that
Yep.
makes also a lot of the transition is much easier. I don't need to be a data scientist, or I don't need to be somebody that works with sound recognition or other fields that are more specific. Right now, we all have resources that actually, okay, I know that this is the vocabulary. I just need to create responses, right? And to make which kind of dialogue the user can have, right? So all these tools are already available. And I think, like, as developers or creators, we are living in exciting times to actually do some creative apps or experiments with the tools that we already have.
Yeah, that's great. I tell you what, I think that you're hitting a lot of the notes that we try to share with developers, and that is that, for one thing, you know, this opens up a world of opportunities for developers to it actually means that the developers are more important than ever, and taking advantage of the tools are like can allow a developer to really focus on the things that are the most important. Um, and not have to tinker with areas that that the AI platforms are taking care of in a lot of instances, or there's a lot of new tools that are entering into the market, to make things easier for developers. So what
exactly.
one of the key messages we get out for developers is now is the time to get in, learn about these tools, and get on your front foot. So it sounds like you have developed for multiple platforms in conversational design. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, so basically, I've started my first conversational design and everything with even JavaScript, like very basics, right? Even before we are going to use another devices. And then I started to use Dialogflow. That's one of the tools that Google provides. That eventually, I don't need to provide any kind of hard meanings in terms of language and everything. So yeah, I use Dialogflow, for example, to do quiz related with my students at that moment that they were trying to learn from a specific topics, right? And it was super easy at that moment because, again, I had such an idea that using voice I should apply certain kind of logic because I'm getting used to another way to programming. But again, I was a little bit surprised about the process that I need to do that. And my first one was a super simple quiz that later I used in the classroom. And actually, I was pretty surprised about the reaction of the students, right? So, and the the numbers of possibilities that as consumers we can use these apps, and the way that actually we can interact now
Right.
are
It really changes.
like
So
fantastic.
you worked on the Google platform, Amazon, and I suspect you're experimenting with the Samsung Bixby platform as well.
Yeah, BSB. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So
That's
in
great.
terms of for developers, I would say try at least one, right? Because again, there's not so much difference, and also there are other concepts that you need to be around. It's a completely different way to create interactions. There's one really famous quote that says, like, forget about your structure as a developer. Here is not you're gonna debug or just process some logic. Here you need the interaction of the user and also wait for a response, right? Well, if you're a developer, you're probably creating apps or even web apps where usually you need to check which kind of responses you're gonna implement, and the user can skip a lot of steps. But here there's another factor that is time, right? So all these new concepts are related to this new way to develop apps, and that's why I say, like, give it a chance to voice. It's such an exciting way to create apps out there.
Well, I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you so much for that, for sharing that message. And we look forward to having a lot of developers on site and having them go through the process that you've gone through and having that awakening about really what the opportunities are. You're going to be part of a panel at Voice Summit. I think it's a really important panel called "What is Inclusive Voice Design?" Let's touch on that quickly before we wrap up this morning. And what would you say one of the top most important lessons that you've learned with regards to what inclusive voice design is?
Yeah, so basically, as producers of technology, we need to keep in mind how we design our products, right? In so many different ways. And I believe, like, voice is an opportunity to, first of all, you are reaching more consumers, right? Accessibility here is really important. People that maybe is having problems with using another platforms like web or even mobile with voice open such so many possibilities. That's one side, and the other side, there are some different things that we have to keep in mind in terms of designing your brand, your persona in terms of voice. Which kind of things as a company or which kind of business you have, you need to keep in mind. There's not so many years ago that one of the first platforms wouldn't be able to recognize woman voice, right? So we need to keep in mind different bias to provide this platform and reach different kinds of users. So even though I believe like technology should be available for everybody, so first of all, as developers, designers, or producers, we need to keep in mind that we have a wide range of different types of consumers. So what can we do to reach more people and to think about other users, right? And and one of the concerns is how you create this voice persona or voice brand, right? Like which gender you're gonna use, which yeah, is like, okay, this is gonna be brand related with this, so why we should do gender, should we use gender? So there's so many different topics related. So I will say that there are two main points. First one, reach out users and make it inclusive for everybody, right? And the second one, how you are creating your prototype, how you're creating your persona, right? And if that kind of design is based in a lot of bias that probably we're good used to. So yeah, that's
I'll tell you
what
what,
I would say about that.
Those are two great takeaways. And for those of you watching out there, Laura and so many other folks are going to be at Voice Summit. You can catch Laura's talk on Thursday, July 25th at 3 p.m. We will have 4 days of completely packed content. Day 0 on Monday, July 22nd, we have pre-conference workshops. These are opportunities to go deep, 3-hour workshops. We also have a hackathon that day. Our VIP reception is that night. We also have a STEAM day happening on Monday, July 22nd. So much happening at Voice Summit. Now is the time to get in on this amazing shift, and it's only going to grow and accelerate in speed. So now's the time to get in. Go to voicesummit.ai. Tickets start at a very affordable rates, but if you are a student or if you're in transition and you need economic assistance, we have scholarships available. Please apply for a scholarship. Laura, it's been great chatting with you. Really look forward to seeing you at Voice Summit coming up.
Yes, thank you. I'm looking forward to see everybody there.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun. So thanks a lot. Really look forward to seeing you in a few weeks.
Alrighty, thank you so much, and see you in 22.
Yes, July 22nd. So this has been Pete, and as you can see, this is part of my beach interview series. I'm down at Bethany Beach, Delaware, but 3 weeks out from the conference, I will be working while I'm here, and the kids will be playing on the beach. See you all in a few weeks. Cheers.
See you.